I don't know how to ease into it. I'm just going to come out and say it. The college football players are now forming an association and organizing a boycott for the NCAA 24 game. Well, to Mr. Noah Potter here, I have to strongly disagree. No, guys aren't being greedy. They just don't want to be disrespected and exploited. Oh boy, man, oh man. Have you ever heard that phrase, how's it go? Sometimes if things are too good to be true, they are. Yeah, well, that is exactly what has happened with the NCAA 24 game. I'm not going to lie to you guys, that's how I felt leading up to this game. And honestly, if you really want to know how I honestly feel, I feel like an idiot and I feel stupid for even believing that this game was actually going to come out. It just seemed like it was always too good to be true. And that's why I never got all my hopes up too much. But within the past couple of months and within the past couple of years, they've been telling us, hey, it's promised, we're bringing it back, just stay patient. They've been feeding us this BS over and over and over. They actually started talking about bringing this game back in like 2020. What were they saying then? Oh yeah, it's going to come out in 2023. Next thing we know, 2023 rolls around. They go, oh yeah, we're going to be delaying it to the summer of 2024. So at this point in time, I've just came to the conclusion that I'm an idiot for even believing it was going to come out. But anyways, getting on topic with today's video, what did we talk about? Not yesterday, but 2 days ago. I shared the news with all of you that a lot of these players, they were potentially thinking about holding out of this game because they're not cool at only getting paid $500. I'll pop up that video right here. If you haven't seen this video, you might want to check it out because it gives you a lot of details that I'm not going to go over again in this video. So if you want some more context, feel free to check that out. But in today's video, we got a newer and a really worse update. I don't know how to ease into it. I'm just going to come out and say it. The college football players are now forming an association and organizing a boycott for the NCAA 24 game. Yep, that's right. You heard me correctly. And it's for obvious reasons. I understand it. And I know a lot of people aren't going to like this, but I'm with the players. I understand exactly where they're coming from, and I'd be doing the same exact thing. And I'll explain that in this video as well. And I'm in the minority here because a lot of fans, which is a lot of you guys, y'all are like, man, who cares? These players are being selfish. Just take the $500 and release the game. And there's also a fair share of college football players who have weighed in on this as well. You're going to want to see what they had to say. Like I said, my opinion on this is going to be controversial. We got a lot to talk about. All right, Matt, blah, 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 shut the crap up. Now, without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so like I was saying in the intro, where we left off on this story, I can't even call it a story. It's more so of a chaotic mess, a chaotic storm. Where we left off is the players a couple of days ago, it was coming out that a lot of them wouldn't be okay with putting their name, image, and likeness into the EA Sports game or NCAA 24 game, that's what I like to call it, for only a measly $500. And yes, I am going to call it a measly $500 because to me, that is a slap in the face. I'll explain my reasoning for that in just a second. So to all the people that are running to the comments saying, Matt, shut up, we just want the game, hear me out. Getting on track here with the newest new reports, we're jumping straight into things. The newest reports came out yesterday that the College Football Players Association is organizing a boycott of the 2024 EA Sports game. That is word for word. As you can see right here, it says the payout for athletes is expected, like I said, to be $500, and it's being quoted and stated they should not opt into it. It is just a ridiculously low amount of money, which I agree with. But whoa, hold on. A lot of people just see these tweets, they see these Instagram posts, and they comment and run with this false narrative before even doing some research. A lot of times you see these quotes, you see these tweets. Yeah, there can be some truth to it, but it's not giving you complete context, and that's what I'm going to provide you with. So just hold off for just a second here to write your opinion or thoughts on this down below until I provide you with some more information. Let's just get into it. Here's the entitled quote. All current players should boycott this deal. It is an opt-in deal and they should not opt into it. It is just a ridiculously low amount of money. Continuing along, here's where we get some more information. Given the context and the hype that surrounds this game, when we first heard the number, we're like, alright, that sounds low. Let's go figure out if it is low. And started talking to guys, talked to some of my friends, some guys who were still playing in the NFL. So what are the NFL players getting paid for Madden? And the number we were given from 2019, it was disclosed and they got, I think, about $17,000. And then a current NFL player told us that he got a check for $28,000 this year for Madden. So there we have it. NFL players reportedly are getting $28,000 just to be in the Madden game. Compared to these college athletes, they're only going to get a check for $500. Yeah, I think we can all agree that's a big difference. I tell you this right now, if every single college player was going to get $28,000, we wouldn't be having this issue. Now, whoa, hold on. I know what Timothy right now is running to the comment section and say, well, Matt, these are professionals and there's less amount of players in the NFL, so yeah, they can afford to pay them more. I get that. I think we all get that, but truth of the matter is, I think a lot of these guys at the collegiate level are worth more than $500, and that's some foreshadowing because we're about to get into that. Continuing along here, you should not participate in this. It is a simple cash grab just to try to get you for the lowest amount possible. And it's one-team partners in all these organizations that don't really represent the players' quote-unquote best interest. There's a bunch of more boring stuff in this article, but here is the point that leads me into what I'm about to get into perfectly. Quote-unquote, for 99.9% of the players, opting into the deal makes sense. And I can't agree with that anymore. That is what I'm about to get into, but let me read you some more of this. For so long, players were not able to receive $1 for having their image and likeness used. The $500 can go a long way, and it's a bonus. Because the real value is being in the game for generations. For some athletes like Drake May and Caleb Williams, holding out could add up because their value to the game is obviously greater than $500. Here's something interesting to take a look at. The last time the EA Sports video game hit the shelves in 2013, roughly 1.5 million copies were sold. I think in 2013 that game was about $50, so let's just do some simple math. 1.5 million times 50, I believe it is, $75 million. And that was in 2013. You gotta think about this. For y'all, maybe y'all had Wi-Fi back then, but growing up, I didn't even have Wi-Fi until I was like 17 or 16 years old. And I think a lot of y'all can relate. Back then, there wasn't no watching people stream this game on YouTube or Twitch. There wasn't anything. Video games have gotten huge since 2013. I think that 1.5 million copies now would be worth about probably 2.5 to 3 million. And to give you some comparison, the Madden franchise is estimated to generate $600 million in annual revenue from 2020. Check out what Jalen Daniels, which is Kansas quarterback, had to say. And he's referring to players holding out, quote unquote. I could definitely see it, especially with the highest college football players that are in the nation right now. If they're getting paid the same as somebody who a lot of people really don't know of, and they're the most known person in college football, I can definitely see their agent saying, all right, what's going on here? And here's the last thing I'm going to show you, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on this. But as soon as you get below the surface, it's a bad deal. It's another one of those things that seems to be the pattern in college football. Like, oh, there's one thing that's happening that sounds great, but then you dig into it and you're like, all right, maybe a step in the right direction, but it's still just exploiting the players. I know that was a lot to take in, but I feel like it was some valuable information. Now, with all that being said, here's where the controversy starts to arise and come up. Everybody, I'd say 99% of the comments are saying, oh my gosh, who cares? Just shut up, take the $500. We want the game back, blah, 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 blah. I've read the comments. A lot of people are stating, who cares if we don't have a certain quarterback like Drake May or Caleb Williams or Cade Klubnik in the game? We're just going to play dynasty mode anyways, and they're going to be gone in 4 years. But let me show you what Mississippi State's quarterback Mike Wright had to say. Man, I'll take $20. I'll opt in for free if my speed is accurate. He recently said that, and I showed you in the video 2 days ago where there's multiple players saying, hey, if I could just get a free copy of the game, I'm down for it. Another one from Noah Potter, college football player here. I would play this game for free without getting paid. Some guys are just greedy. There's a bunch of comments like that from collegiate athletes, but I just want to show you a couple so you get a perspective. A lot of these guys are saying, hey, just bring the game back. I don't even care to get paid. Well, to Mr. Noah Potter here, I have to strongly disagree. No, guys aren't being greedy. They just don't want to be disrespected and exploited. And the best example I can use is, I'm going to use myself. You got to put yourself in the position of these players before you form your opinion. And I'm going to do just that. If EA Sports reached out to me and said, hey, Matt, we'd love to have you in the game being a commentator or just use your voice in some type of mode, we'd love to have you. And I'd say, heck yeah, that's awesome. Put me in the game. I'd love to be in the game. And then they go, okay, we'll give you $500. How does that sound? You want me to be honest with all of you? I'd laugh. I would just laugh. I wouldn't say anything else. And then they'd say again, yo, Matt, $500, is that good? I'd laugh again, and then they'd repeat it. So are we going to do $500 or no? I'd look at them and say, are you serious? $500? That is disrespectful to me, and there's no way in shape and form would I ever do that. I can't even buy the PS5 with $500. I couldn't even buy the gaming system to play the game. And here's why it's so disrespectful to me. I've put in so many hours. I've worked years and years trying to build up my name, trying to build up our YouTube channel to get to the point where I am today. I know I'm worth more than $500. I'm not saying they got to give me a $1.5 million contract, but you got to at least give me a couple thousand. And if some of y'all want to say, oh, Matt, you're being greedy, I'm sorry you feel that way, but I know my worth. I've spent years building up my name and my brand. I'm sorry if you think this is me being selfish, but my voice in a video game, my commentary, whatever you want to call it, is worth more than $500. So maybe that's why I'm seeing this from the perspective of the players that are wanting to hold out for more money. It's not about being greedy, guys. It's about being paid what you're worth and not being disrespected. Let me offer this into a better perspective for you. Imagine, I bet some of y'all, you've worked for a company for at least 4 to 5 years. And hold on, let's not even say 5 years. How long have these college football players been playing college football? For like 15 to 20 years. Well, probably not 20 years, but we'll say 15. I know Stetson Bennett played for 20 years, but for most of them, it's 15. This would be the exact equivalent to you working for a company for 15 years and they say, hey, at Christmas, we're going to give you a bonus. And you're thinking, man, I've been here for 15 years. I put in so many hours, all this blood, sweat, and tears. They're going to give me at least $5,000. And they come up to you at Christmas and say, hey, man, thank you for working so hard for these 15 years. Here's $500. Really? $500 for my 15 years of work? That is a slap in the face, and it's the same thing for these players. But the worst part about it for these players is EA Sports is going to profit millions of dollars off of these players. So no, I don't think certain players that are wanting to boycott this are being greedy for holding out for their worth. Caleb Williams has worked extremely hard for 15 years to put himself in the position he's now in. It's the same thing with these professional athletes that do commercials. You think Shaquille O'Neal or Tom Brady or Steph Curry would do a commercial for $500? No. Now let me ask you a question. Is them turning down a commercial for $500, is that them being greedy? Is it? I don't think it is. It's all about morals. It's all about integrity, knowing your worth. Steph Curry and Shaquille O'Neal don't need any more money, but they're not going to do a commercial for $500. You see what I'm saying? It's about the principles, man. It really is. I don't care if you steal a penny from me or you steal $1,000. You're still a thief, and I can't trust you. I'm going to stop there. Now, going back to all these players like Noah Potter here, and I respect this guy and much love. It's nothing against you, but you're not on the level of a Caleb Williams. You're not the top 0.01%. Like this says right here, for 99.9% of players, this is a good deal. You're getting $500 and you're going to be in a video game. That's awesome. But you also have to understand, guys, for 99.9% of these athletes, they're not worth more than $1,000 in that video game. And I don't mean that in a disrespectful way. It is just the harsh truth. A true freshman at Vanderbilt isn't even worth the $500. Nobody's going to be grabbing NCAA 24 off the shelves or buying it off of Amazon because of some punter at Vanderbilt. Trust me, I want this game as bad as y'all do. It was one of the only games I played growing up, but you gotta look at this from the position of these star players. I hate to be the oddball out here, but I agree with the players on this. I think a good number, if I was in the shoes of like a Drake May or Caleb Williams or just any of the star players, I would say at bare minimum, you gotta throw me about, I think I said on one of my previous videos, I said 80,000, but I'm going to change that. I would just say about like probably 10K. 10K and call it a day. It's not even about getting paid $80,000 or $100,000 to be in the video game because Drake May and Caleb Williams, they know they're going to make way more money in that in the future. The point is that your star players, like, and I'm just naming off these guys for example, but Caleb Williams, Drake May, and Quinn Ewers, they should be getting paid more than everybody else. And if you don't like that, well, I don't know what to tell you. You don't live in reality. I just hope we can come to some resolution. At this point in time, I'm not even confident that this game is ever going to come out. Let me know your thoughts down below. But